for this. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining our third monthly continuous learning call. We wanted to set these up back in October just to provide a forum for anybody to ask any questions related to learning and development at GitLab. We put together a quick little slide deck if you haven't had the opportunity to go through it, just with some highlights. You may see some slides that you've seen in there in the past session, but we've got a lot of really cool updates coming down the pipeline. For one, our learning experience platform that is in full works right now, and we plan to go live with that throughout the organization January 11th. We also have another really exciting opportunity with LinkedIn Learning of getting that in the org as well for everybody. I think we have about 1,000 licenses. So some really cool developments. And if you have any questions related to the deck, feel free to ask them there. I see Leslie B, you've got the first one. Hey
Josh. So slide 13, I missed the manager challenge for January, and I'm interested in the next one. When do you plan on filling out more info, and where can I find it?
Awesome. Yeah, so you can, I'm gonna launch another one in March. I think, if you really want to join the one in January, I think there's a couple more slots. We had a couple people drop out. If you're interested, I can throw you in there.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'll take a look. So just add some information to the issue that you already have open.
Yeah, you can add it, and it is closed, but we've got a couple of slots open. So go ahead and put your info in there, and I'll throw you in the list.
Thank you.
Thanks for participating. It'll be good to get your input. So, yeah. Cool. Any other questions there? Anything the L&D team wants to highlight as well? Feel free to jump in.
Hi, Josh. I had a quick question. Just based on what you said in regards to LinkedIn, can you share a bit more about what sort of content or training that would come with, or what will be covered in that, the available content?
Yeah. So I don't know, JC, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So there is tons of content on LinkedIn Learning, and we'll have access to everything that's on there. Everything from like things that managers need to know to like, I think there's even like some coding courses on there as well. They add like, I think 35 or more courses every week. So there's constantly new content. There's, courses on, giving and receiving feedback, things like that. And we're going to try to integrate them into our learning programs that we'll have on our LXP. So yeah, and they're launching on the same date. So you'll be able to have access to both on the same day. Does that answer your question? Yeah,
definitely. And I also see there's a link here as well. I missed that. There's a self-service content library, i.e. LinkedIn Learning. So I'll check.
Yes.
Thanks.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super exciting. I know for me, like just having some extra time in the day or in the week just to be able to watch some videos and learn a new skill is always, it can be tough sometimes at GitLab to make time to do that, but if you can carve out time and take advantage, it's always good.
Yeah, and there is an app. I just want to call that out too. So like if you can learn on the go too, so you don't have to be on your computer.
Yeah, that's a good point. During COVID, when I moved from my study to my kitchen, that's the extent of my travels these days.
I don't have a question, but I just want to call out to the team about all the great work that you've done this year as we kind of finish off the calendar year. There's been some really great programs and lots of great progress in the L&D space. So kudos to you all, and thanks for all your effort in that.
Thanks, Carol. I love your background too. Thanks for all the support.
Going all festive here.
Yeah.
Well, definitely +1 to what Carol said. Like I was in the pilot for Manager Challenge. When was it? When was that? July? I think.
September?
Oh, sorry.
September?
It's
Yeah.
September. It's a bit of a blur. And that that was great. I loved it. And I wanted to ask what the iteration has been to the manager challenge, which is planned for January. Like what has changed? You don't have to answer at all. Like giving an issue is also fine, but maybe just for my understanding and others.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. So there's been like a good amount of changes from the pilot back in September. I think the biggest one is, I think after reviewing it with some executives, I think the feedback was like just trying to make it more GitLab specific versus, more of like the foundational management, which I think there was a need for that. But I think trying to make the curriculum more GitLab specific on, how to hold a one-to-one or how to like do a coaching session virtually, just making it more in line with how GitLab operates. I totally agree with that. I also, after meeting with Sid as well, his favorite management book is High Output Management. And so kind of threading some principles from that book into the curriculum as well. So if you're participating and you've read that book, you'll definitely have a leg up.
Cool, thanks. I'll put it on my reading list for 2021.
Yeah, it's I think it's like a pretty quick read. It's pretty old school though, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, and don't forget we can expense that too.
That's right. Yeah, you can expense it. Probably the audiobook too.
Yeah, I read it, and because last year we did a book club, and that was the book that we chose to read. And I wish that I would have gotten the paperback versus the Kindle version, just so I could have wanted to go back and like quickly reference in a paper versus a Kindle version. I'm not super up to speed on the Kindle, but just words of advice from my perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think also for me, like reading that, being relatively new to GitLab, I think I got a better sense of kind of how this organization is structured and how we kind of do things, from the one-to-ones to the agenda setting. I mean, it made more sense to me.
Just an FYI for Kindle reading, I've done book clubs with it, and I prefer it because I put the app on my laptop, and then I can search my notes as well as anywhere in the book to quickly find, a random phrase that I remember from the book but can't find again. So
that's a great point. Thank you, Darwin, for that.
Yeah, great point. I also just noted, we shortened the program to 3 weeks as well. I think, 4 felt a little long for some folks, so we're team members. Cool. Any more questions there? Well, if not, you know where to find us. You can post a comment in the #learning channel, learning and development channel on Slack, and we'll answer your questions. Cool. Give you 20 minutes back. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
See
you.
ya.